for is kind of like the divine how I even ended up in this space. And without getting into too much detail, essentially I was in the earners 2 weeks. There was 2 weeks where I had 2 coworkers commit suicide, and one of them happened at work. And I remember very vividly, this was my like done moment. It was the first time in the entirety of my nursing career that as I was doing CPR on someone, I was praying for myself. Get me out of this situation, please. And I got home and my husband had applied for a new job for me. And that just speaks how awesome he is. So I ended up with that position. And then I knew I needed to keep it. I was like, I'm not going back. I need to keep this job. And like Elyse said, my job was not at all secure. And I had 6 chances, 6 leads that they were going to give me, and I had to have one of them for me to basically keep that position. After my first one, and it was a no sale, I immediately started searching for a coach. Like, I need help. This has to work. I have no other option but to make this job work. And I found Elyse, I think, through God, 100%. She was the first person that when I Googled sales coach for women popped up.
Thank
and then
God
I was
for
like,
the algorithm.
Thank
God algorithm all of you.
She was the first person there, and then I was like, okay, well, let me just check Instagram because I've been following this other lady, and then Elyse was a testimony video on there, and I was like, okay, well, there she is again, so here we go. And the day after I had my consultation with Elyse, I made my first sale. And it solidified.
And one that you decided to invest in yourself, and
then
you had your first sale.
Yes. I said yes, and then I had my first sale. Yeah. And I was even just telling you this morning, it's like I'm so grateful that it's a longer term commitment being in the 10K club, because there's so much work. Like, I have done so much to get to where I'm at now, but I'm like, just being here, I'm like, wow, there's so much more. Yeah. Like Laura, sharing your story, I was like, wow, there's so much that I haven't tapped into, and like what a blessing it is to have a group to do it with. Yes. And to be able to continue throughout the journey, because you get a huge leap right when you come in, when you say yes, but there's exponential leaps after that continue.
And where are you at now? Because you forgot to mention that piece.
Yeah, now last month I had a 30K month. We're getting there. So
wow.
It's been exciting.
From no sales background, and I feel the energy even of your former coworkers when you were talking about that, so I know how heavy that is, right? And thank you for sharing all of that, and just to see and witness, and yet I remember you making that choice in yourself that felt very uncomfortable because your job wasn't even secure, but we talked about decision making from the end, and I was like, what would a woman who has what you want do? And you were like, she would invest in herself, and there's a little bit of, I think, butt clenching decision making. Yeah.
But then it became really easy. And that's how, we talked about the vision piece of this today, and like where I got clarity is just going where it feels easy, and it should feel maybe a little butt clenching at first. Yeah. But then it becomes easier and easier.
Yeah. You do the thing you gotta have.
And it's someone, I forget who even told me, but somebody said following the breadcrumbs. Whoever said that, thank you for that, because I loved that.
Yeah.
And letting that kind of guide us. So
it's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. The other layers that I have,